Welcome to Season 2 of the Tell Your Friends podcast, the season premiere, Episode 1. Big show for you guys here tonight. Drew DeSalle coming at you from the Bird Street studio, sitting across the table from Mikey Jeet Cyberg. How you doing, Mikey?
Hey, happy 2017, boys and girls. Good to be back.
And welcome to a very special guest co-host all the way from Miami, Florida, Josh Backhoe Taulbee. How you doing, Backhoe?
Doing great, boys. New year, new me on a heater with gambling, so life is good in 2017. I love it.
Yeah, you had some money on the championship game, didn't you? You were texting me or whatever.
Oh yeah, hit big on the over 51 and Clemson money line for 1,800.
Oh, jeez. Keep the good vibes going, hopefully, man.
Yes, sir.
So Taulbee, we had to bring him on. My tie to you is kind of through Dayton, Ohio. You went to Miami of Ohio, but you grew up with Ronnie, with Ron Diesel, one of my good buddies from college. So that's kind of our connection. And then you are the resident Bachelor expert. So we had to get you on the show.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you guys having me. It's gonna get real here. We're gonna get really real about a lot of smokes. I think we're gonna talk about butts, maybe some boobies. You know.
Yeah, fair to say we should probably put a little disclaimer out here. I don't know if anybody would be listening for any reason, but this could delve into some interesting topics.
Oh, yeah.
And we're definitely changing our format here a little bit. Taulbee, I don't know if you know this or not, but we were formerly known as a fantasy football podcast,
Right.
hashing through the league and the ins and outs of the waiver wire. But we're changing our format to scandals and animals, and we're starting off fresh here with the Bachelor topic.
Hey, man, just trying to be more inclusive and, let's get some more topics going.
Absolutely.
This one's for the bitches out there.
Exactly.
So I'm kind of the outsider of The Bachelor. I maybe caught an episode or two, but Taulbee, you really changed the game, man. I mean, you got the Snapchat, you got the live snaps going every night for it, which are freaking hysterical. I mean, I don't even really watch the show. I'll just follow your snaps, and it's got me in stitches, dude. You're doing great.
Dude, first off, I appreciate it. There's nothing like just bashing some wine on a Monday night and firing off hot takes on Snapchat.
Usually like shirtless or some like cut off or whatever.
Dude, that's the uniform. You got to go shirtless. You got to throw the sunglasses on inside at night, and just like I said, just bashing some summer water, rosé all day.
Yeah, if you're wearing a shirt watching The Bachelor, you are doing it wrong. Let me ask something about the Snapchats. Do you get much of a buzz from the girls or from the guys? Is anyone getting back at you, firing back and saying whatever to you?
Oh yeah, girls love it, dude. They think it's like the funniest thing ever. Like, and honestly, that's like the biggest like increase in people that follow me is all girls, because they'll like go to work and they'll be like, you gotta watch this guy's Snapchats on Monday night, and it's been great.
Oh, have you ever used this to? I'm the guy from The Bachelor snap stories. Is that ever a pickup line?
So I haven't got laid yet off it, but I do get some pretty decent titty Snapchats now. So hey,
Wow.
yeah. That's
Now we're
success.
talking, man.
There we
Opening
go.
doors, breaking down walls.
Hey, that's how it's 2017. What a time to be alive, right?
Wait till they get their hands on this podcast.
Oh yeah, panty
So
dropper.
give me, for the village idiot here, give me some background. What are we in, like season 200 of The Bachelor?
So I think it's in the 30s now. This is my
30s.
like 4th season. So I started with this Ben guy who was kind of a chotch, and then I started watching like the next girl who was just like the ultimate smoke. I thought he should have chosen her. And then I watched this Paradise thing, which that's the best format. It's basically they just send them to a beach and everyone has sex for like a month and a half.
So yeah, that's the three shows that are all tied, though, right? You got The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, and then the
Paradise.
Bachelor in Paradise. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I've seen one of each. This is the second season of The Bachelor that I've seen.
Okay. I think one of the first interesting things I think when I see The Bachelor, I'm not all sold on it. It's a lot of production value, this and that, I know. But everybody's got their thing, and that's cool. I think it's a psychology thing. Like, if you talk to most guys, right? Like, every guy wants to be the Bachelor. They want all the girls chasing after you.
Oh yeah,
But if
absolutely.
and if you ask girls, though, they're like, they'd rather be the ones all chasing after the guy. Isn't that a little weird?
I feel like it's weird. It'd be really tough. Like, I would love being the Bachelor. I mean, you just get 30 smokes all trying to marry you. Like, who doesn't want that, right? Like, it's just easy.
Yeah.
But like being a guy on a season of The Bachelorette with 30 other dudes, I feel like it'd be so difficult. Like I just wouldn't want to be hanging out with that many guys all the time.
Hell no.
Yeah. It's just too I think it's too much, and like also it's tough with like the whole fake thing. Like the girls right away, girls are already like calling him their boyfriend and like saying that they got feelings for him. I would be like, "Yo girl, I need like 6 months to even start talking about stuff like that."
Yeah, everybody, guys and girls wired a little differently.
And that's the beauty of The Bachelor versus The Bachelorette is everyone's in their euphoria, right? So you got the guy you got your boy Nick who's just sitting back and letting this girl Corinne come to him. Taulbee, tits out for the boys.
Oh yeah.
And then you got these girls who are all excited to be, it's like a little bit of a game for them. It's all about that female dominance.
It really is. It's interesting to see like kind of how they all like fight for the attention and how like upset they get when he just like talks to somebody else. It's like you kind of realize that it is a game. He's got to kind of talk to everybody. But I mean, Nick so far from everything I've seen, this is an interesting cat. Like I feel like I love that there was already a to be continued because this dude, I don't know if he's playing the game right at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how he remembers everybody's name. That's probably that would be pretty tough.
Hands down, that would be my biggest problem. I mean, I've seen like now, granted, I've drank about between 2 episodes about 6 bottles of wine, so that affects it. But I can't.
On Monday nights.
Oh, dude, that's why I started getting into it. This girl was like, "Hey, you want to come over and watch it?" And I was like, I don't really know. She's like, "We got a bunch of wine." And I was like, "Oh, an excuse to drink on a Monday when there's no football? Check."
That's a good point. And I mean, most guys would. I feel like a large majority of the guys are like, like my girl makes me watch it or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's like in their head, it's like secretly they enjoy it and they just like won't admit it or something.
Oh yeah, the show really is hilarious, like the ridiculous stuff they do, and they always have like a couple characters. So for instance, on the Bachelorette season, they had the guy Chad, which everybody knows is a total meat stick and was just getting
Yeah,
blacked
Chad,
out.
bro.
Chad was my boy.
Exactly. Yeah. That's if you wanted to get that was the season to get in on this show because every dude would watch that guy and be like, "This is hilarious. He's must see TV." And now on this season, we got our girl Corinne, she's Chad in female form.
He's the villain.
She's a smoke bomb, by the way. I
Give me-
to throw that out there.
How did it end up? And then she had her boobs out or something. What was?
We missed that. Our cable box was giving us a little trouble in the beginning of last night's episode.
Give us the recap of that, Taulbee. What happened?
Gotcha.
She jumps in the
So-
water or something.
Yeah, so it was kind of it was a first group date. So they have different types of dates on this show where like he'll bring a large amount of women, right? So the whole point of the group date was they were going to take wedding photos, and theirs was bikini themed. And there was another girl who was kind of like a Garden of Eden type thing. So she had her titties out. So this girl is not going to be, one to be one up. So she's like, "I'm going to pop these things out." And then she made him like grab her titties like right there in the pool in front of everybody. She's got
Like known her for a week or something.
not even. I think at this point they've been there for like 48 hours.
I thought, jeez, what can you do? But then that was
Grab her
his
titties,
like
that's what
he
you can
gave
do.
her the MVP thing, right? What do they call that? Rose, most valuable
Yes.
player, Rose.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's like when you're on the group date, the person that like impresses him the most, he'll give them a rose, and then they're like totally safe from elimination.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean
Sets
it was
the tone.
It was an aggressive move by her, and you know what? It paid off. So obviously she's doing something right.
But yeah, I mean, it is, so the show's on ABC, and you got, like we're talking about, girls pulling their boobs out or whatever. Like, that's a lot for ABC, a family network, right?
I think so too, man. It was really weird because she was like all like straddling him in the pool and everything, and like he's like blatantly just grabbing her ass. I mean, like even like later in the season, they have when they get down to it, they do these things called fantasy suites, and it's like where you get to spend the night. So like,
I've heard of this.
What's going on in the fantasy suite? Sex. That's what's going on in the fantasy suite.
Guys, I think I just had a $1 million, potentially $1 billion idea here.
I love it.
What if we create our own Bachelor, but we moved it to late night HBO? And it was
geez.
just like, or we should pitch this to like Pornhub or something. Someone would take this idea, I think.
Oh yeah, someone would take it. But see here, E kind of tried to do that. I don't know if you guys heard of this show called Catching Kelsey with Travis Kelsey.
Oh wait, and it was like
It's a,
it was.
it's a,
Yeah, I
I
knew
didn't
that.
hear about that.
That's the tight end for the.
Yes, for the Chiefs. Yeah, he did a dating show this past offseason called Catching Kelsey, and that one was on E, and they don't even make any jokes about the fact that he's just banging everyone. It was basically just an excuse for him to get a bunch of easy ass in the offseason.
Wow.
Good for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Did
the
he,
girls were
did
really
he
hot.
end up? How did do you know what? Did he?
You know, I watched 2 episodes, and I was like, I'm not going to do this because this is just some like poser ass Bachelor thing, and I'm going to stick to the Bachelor loyalty, brand loyalty.
But where I was going with the the boobs and all that.
Yeah.
I was trying to get you to go on to your. What do you always complain about or whatever about the butts?
All right, here we go. My number one pet peeve about this show. Whenever they do like whether it's at the pool or they always have them in like tropical locations, and it's like 2017 now. You know, like I live in
Right.
Miami, so I see it all the time. Girls
Right.
in like thongs, that's a big thing these days. Just butt cheeks out everywhere.
Sure.
Well, on ABC, they Photoshop it to make it look like their bikinis are like much wider on the ass, and it's like really blatant, and it just bothers me because like you're showing this dude grab up, like feel this chick up on TV, but you can't show a little butt cheek. I mean, it's just skin. Come on.
Interesting. Yeah, when you were saying Photoshop, I was like, what are they? Are they putting like an emoji up over it or something?
It's like they
peach?
Yeah, man, they extend the bikini like so whatever color it is, but it's like all blurry and shit. So it's like
Oh,
very,
God.
it's terrible. It's terrible. And like most of these girls have great butts, so it's like I'm trying to like get a little, trying to see what's going on down there.
I think you got to reach out to your Snapchat followers and tell them to show you the real deal.
I think so. I think that's what I need to start. I need to start just like tweeting at these girls. I did that like for the first season of The Bachelor. I started following like 2 of them that live in Fort Lauderdale. I was just tweeting at them like, "Hey, I think
Yeah.
you guys are great."
Yeah.
Just trying to slide in the DMs like
Shoot your shot.
Any bites?
no. That's
Just get blocked.
Hey, persistence is key, my friend.
exactly.
Keep
You
trying.
Miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Well, I feel like isn't there always on these shows too? There's always somebody like, oh, hey, this is so and so that's a friend with so and so, and then I know that, like, you know what I mean? Like somebody always knows a contestant somehow on these shows, or at
Yeah.
least claims.
Most like you're talking like friends, like people that you like like just
Yeah.
like acquaintance. It's a friend of a friend knows them, right?
Yeah, I don't know anybody, but well, I feel like I hear that a lot.
Yeah,
A
supposedly.
funny story
like-
for you.
yeah, go ahead.
A girl I used to date, and I use the term date
Yeah.
as loose as possible. Her best friend was Brianna. Do you remember this girl?
Brianna, okay.
Well, she was kicked off pretty much right away. Got probably about 3 minutes of screen time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that 3 minutes was probably 1 minute of screen time.
Yeah, the chick from Salt Lake.
Okay looking girl. Not bad, but I was kind of creeping on her Instagram a little bit, and she's like promoting the shit out of this show like since like the beginning of December. I don't know if ABC pays these girls like promote this show even though you're going to be the first one kicked off of this thing.
Right.
It's like, how do you go back to work? It's like, hey, oh, you were the first one that he let go.
Oof.
It's a tough look. It's a tough look. I mean,
This is the girl who cried. She got kicked off and she cried the first episode.
yeah. See,
because
at that point, you're just embarrassed, right?
And they film it way early, and then they release it. So there's like the spoilers or something, right? Like people technically already know who wins this thing.
Oh yeah, this thing's over.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you looked at if you did like maybe 5 minutes of research, you could see who wins. I think the
I'm not ruining it.
yeah, no, I'm all in on this thing. This is, and especially now, like with Corinne still on the show, like this is the best part of the season.
Although you got to pretty much mark the clear favorite as your girl, NICU nurse Danielle M. I mean, I've watched maybe an hour and a half of the show, and
The blonde nurse.
yeah,
Yeah, I like her.
She's hot, but I was saying this on the Snap story. I feel like anytime you're in a relationship with like just a degenerate drug addict and you have no idea, that's a little bit of a red flag.
definitely a red flag. We'll see if Nick picks up on it.
I like how you throw it back like it's her fault. That's hilarious.
I mean, come on. Like, you didn't see any signs, like, But, and then the other point was, I was like, this is great. Like, if I was, like, with her, I could just be drunk all the time and she'd have no idea. I could always explain it away.
I want to get your take. So, like we said, quick, there was actually no rose ceremony, which I was a little thrown off by because I don't really understand the show. But one girl did get kicked off of this show, week 2. That girl, Liz, who, she's the chick that came on and was like, oh, by the way, we already hooked up.
Yeah, where'd they meet again?
They met
Don't
but
answer that question.
Seriously, pour one out for our girl Liz. I thought Liz, looking at the pictures in the beginning of this thing, was a clear-cut favorite, just looks-wise. She's one of my favorites.
Hands down. I did a top 5, just firing from the hip before the season started, and I named Liz as like the surefire favorite to win this thing.
She's good looking.
I'll tell you what, though, this might be contrary to popular opinion here, but I was not a fan of that back tattoo.
Really, I liked it a lot. It just screams like
a little too much going on.
Girl for me.
Yeah, would you go? You got to recreate your reaction. That was great. You're like a savage or something.
Oh yeah, she's got just a straight savage back tattoo, but it means that she's probably a demon in the sack. So like, I'm in on that.
See, she looks more of like a subtle tattoo kind of girl. Like if I saw like a little, I don't even know, like a little heart in her foot or something, I'd be all in on that. But that giant back tattoo, that screams exploited college girls to me.
Yeah, and she's also from Vegas, so she probably is like an amateur porn star or something in real life.
But smart to get rid of her. Or you think you'd keep her around if you were in that position?
So I actually think that Nick, this was like his big mistake that I think is going to haunt him all season. They obviously already had sex at this wedding. So when she comes in there and I think he kind of forgot who she was at first, but then he had to have quickly realized. In my opinion, he had to either get rid of her night one, or she had to win the whole thing. He couldn't risk her telling everyone else that they already banged. In my opinion, because I think it's just a bad look for everyone else. Like, oh, you're on this dating show, and here's like your slam piece over here. Like, what the hell is that about?
Yeah, that is interesting.
I know the Bachelor always has some tricks up its sleeves. She could be back at some point in this season.
Oh yeah.
What do they start with? 20-some, and then they like cut it in half on the first night. Something
ridiculous.
It
was 30 girls, and they got rid of about 8 of them, or I think it was like 7 or 8 on the first night, and then now Liz is gone as well.
They still have a lot of girls up here. I feel like I'm playing Guess Who with all these X's over these girls. Like, is your girl wearing a red shirt?
Yeah,
no.
exactly. It's like a game of bingo up here or something. But yeah, I mean, I think like just kind of going off it right now, like you were saying. I mean, Danielle M, early front runner. I gotta say one of the more disappointing things so far in the first 2 episodes. My girl Christina from Russia, she lives in Kentucky, but she's Russian.
Oh, yeah. This girl, you're in love with this girl,
Oh,
right?
man, she is fire flame smokes.
She is fire flames. That Russian accent, my God. I mean, that's just next level. But, I mean, she's in my opinion, by far the hottest girl.
Oh, yeah, I see. I pulled her up now.
There we go.
She's pretty easy on the eyes over there.
It doesn't hurt her cause that she has the picture next to Josephine.
Yes, Josephine and Lacey. My girl Lacey. Damn, that's a tough look.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that might just be a bad picture of her, though.
I'll tell you what about that Josephine, though. She kind of grew on me a little bit with, I don't know, she looks better than this. She looks like a transvestite in this picture of the contestants.
Yeah.
But she looks a lot better in the actual show. And I don't know, she has a little sass to her. I don't mind it.
Yeah. I will say that, like, of all the girls, the absolute worst is Raven from Arkansas. That girl has just got to go. I don't know how she's still hanging on.
See, I haven't even heard that name until you just said it. She's one of the girls that I'm skimming over here.
Yeah, she's just like the hillbilly one from Arkansas, and it seems like she's going to be one of those girls who's, like, not afraid to speak her mind, so they'll keep her around as long as Corinne's there, because she'll probably start, like, blowing up on her, you know?
Mm. Hey, let me ask you this. What are the rules with this let me steal you thing? Why does everybody just abide by this rule? Anybody just comes up to anybody, is like, I got to steal you for a second, and then everybody else just walks away like it's cool.
So I think it's just like there is no set rules on it, I don't think. But I think if he is kind of down with like going to talk to the girl again, when she like the let me steal you girl, when she comes up, is like, oh, can I steal you for a second? And he says yes. You kind of have to go with him, like just be like, oh, okay, I got my time. The thing for me is that
I'd be pissed.
I'd be furious. But the thing for me that I thought was like kind of annoying last night is they're all like sitting in a circle, like kind of whining about it to each other. Like, why don't you guys just go over there and be like, hey, let me see, instead of letting Corinne do it nonstop?
Yeah.
I mean,
Corinne's
you got
the balls in this house.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I thought that was a little interesting. But yes, it happens all the time, especially now, like early in the season when you have like a total loose cannon like Corinne who's just taking wine to the face over there. Like,
she's going to have to make it on for a long time, even if she doesn't win.
Pure entertainment value.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She'll tone it down. They'll have a talking with her. Chris Harrison will sit her down and say, hey, you got to chill out. And she'll ride it out for at least at least 5 or 6 more weeks.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I love that girl because I know basically that girl. Like met that girl so many times living down here in Miami because she's from Miami.
Ghosts.
She is literally like the definition of a spoiled Miami girl. Like I was saying last night that chick has had sex with no less than 100 dudes over the age of 45 just for a good table at the club.
Ooh. Now here's a girl that's kind of been under the radar throughout the show, but goddamn, Sarah, the grade school teacher from Newport Beach. Has she even been on camera yet?
Yeah, she was actually on the group date, I believe. I don't think she was one of the brides. I think she was like a bridesmaid in one picture. But Sarah is total smoke. She's a kindergarten teacher, right, or a grade school teacher, some bullshit thing like that, where she's basically just
Some bullshit real job that
Prime.
millions of people have.
right? Yeah, like, hey man, just educating the youth of America while being an absolute smoke over there.
I don't think we mentioned her yet. I think one of my favorites, or one of the girls I like, Vanessa, because she's got the Italian flair, right? Some big paisan, big Italian family. I like Vanessa. Man, she's like the special needs teacher or something.
Yeah, Vanessa is also very cute in my opinion. I don't know if I'd say she's like a smoke, but she's very pretty.
Yeah, she's elegant.
Yes, agreed. And she's from Canada, so she's probably really super nice like all the time. So
It says A.
yeah, exactly.
And in the spirit of mixing things up a little bit here, I'm going to throw Dominique in my top 5, and we're going to leave it at that.
Wait,
Okay.
you were giving us a top 5? I didn't even know.
No, I wasn't giving you anything. I'm just saying, let's just throw her in there just to diversify our mix here.
Hey, I'm all about that. I don't know. I guess that's would probably be like where I would go. I don't know. Ooh, I will say, I don't know if you guys caught this. Jamie from New Orleans.
Oh, I see.
I don't like that girl.
I see Dominique.
don't like her?
in her. She's good looking.
Nah.
I mean, she's down with like hooking up with chicks. So there's like threesome potential. You know, like she's from New Orleans, but she probably is down to party all the time.
I get where you're going with that. She's just that's not. I mean, there's some guys are. That's not me though. I like Taylor too. She got a lot of screen time in that last episode. Maybe that's just why.
Yeah, that could be it. Taylor, I don't know. There was just something about Taylor that she's like the psychologist one. So I feel like
She's young.
Yeah, she is young, and that's the other thing too. Is Nick is like 35, I think.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so there's like I don't know that.
11-year difference.
Yeah, to be honest with you, like the whole thing, like he's obviously gonna end up like picking somebody at the very end. I would be shocked if they end up getting married after the show. Shocked.
Yeah, I mean, at what point it's fair for the girls to all look at him and be like, "We don't really like this guy," right?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, yeah, the biggest thing that I think is gonna happen with him now is that it's like totally out there that he had sex with Liz before. So I think all these girls are gonna be like, well, like what the hell? And then he's like giving roses to Corinne, who's like obviously, kind of a hoe for show. So I think they're gonna be like, is this guy like just looking for sex, or is he actually like looking for a wife?
Yeah, that's definitely true. That's fair.
I think it's a fair question.
I mean, he was on. So he's passed a couple past years, right? 1, 2 shows, 3 shows, 4 shows, 5.
3
Redfish,
shows
Bluefish?
actually. He made it to the final 2 in 2 seasons, 2 consecutive seasons, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, of The Bachelorette, and got denied.
So are you calling him a loser or a genius?
Maybe a little bit of both, I guess. I mean, he's obviously doing something right. But and the other theory out there is that he's just terrible at sex because he got to a fantasy suite with one girl, got rejected. Got to a fantasy suite with another girl, got rejected. Had sex with Liz at the wedding, she wouldn't give him her number.
And got her the fuck out of there so she would shut her mouth.
Exactly. And Liz was kind of alluding that he was having some trouble in the bedroom, like, and that's just like a classic chick move, I feel like. But I mean, I don't know. Nick, sex game might be a little off, my man.
Yeah. I'm not sold on Nick. I'm looking at his picture right now. He's got a little Eli Manning face going on in this picture right now, and I don't think he has the confidence or the backbone to keep this thing going strong.
I liked him on Bachelor in Paradise because he seemed like a really nice dude, but like I don't know, like if you see pictures of him from earlier seasons when he was on The Bachelorette, my man used to be way uglier than he is now. Like his picture, his like the video of him is just rough from his 2 seasons of The Bachelorette.
Oh, okay. All right, so we're sitting here, coming up almost on a half hour of a show here. Definitely going to be a long one, but special guest, special topic. We're fine going a little lengthy on it. Taulbee, give me are you giving us like an official power rankings or any points you want to get across on the show here to us?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is that I don't think we're going to know a true like final 3, because once you get into it a little bit, I think maybe once Corinne is like axed off the show and he can really focus on his like relationships, that's when it'll be pretty obvious who the final 3 are going to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Danielle M.
Like her.
Christina, I think he's going to come around on.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw Sarah in there. I think that's my final 3.
Nice.
Yeah,
I don't mind that. Danielle's she's pretty much a crowd favorite at this point with her backstory and how nice she is. I mean, maybe they're the producers, writing her into that kind of character, but it's hard not to like that.
Hard not to like that. And usually, like, the first solo date, that's, like, a pretty good indicator that he's, like, really interested in that girl.
I dig it. Jeets, you got some top picks or what?
I like those 3. Christina, on paper, but I don't know. That accent kills it for me.
Really? Not a big accent guy?
A little too much. Nah, it's just that her accent for some reason. She doesn't look like she's going to have that accent. She opens her mouth, and you're like, whoa. What's going on?
It is a little like it takes you aback at first.
Maybe we'll get used to it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally into it. I'm all in on Christina, so I will admit that my final 3 is heavily biased with her in there. I would say if I was gonna throw like a 3B, so like who would be my next one in? Vanessa.
Your bubble team.
Exactly. Vanessa is sitting on the bubble, but she's like just on the bubble. She's got that needle ready to pop that bitch.
And that's what's ridiculous. The show or the series Bachelor, Bachelorette, people are doing fantasy brackets and everything. I mean, it's just as crazy as all the guys or the people that are doing, fantasy football or March Madness brackets. I mean, it's getting to that level, right?
It's really taken over, and I think it's kind of like, like just the things that we see in society where it's like a lot of things are not as stigmatized as they used to be, like chick things, quote unquote, are cool for guys to get in on now, and people aren't like afraid to say that they watch it. Like you were saying, dudes are still kind of saying like, oh, my girlfriend makes me watch it, when in reality they're sitting there at work like, I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah. And we haven't mentioned them yet here, but we got to mention the Barstool Boys. I mean, the Coming Up Roses podcast, they definitely, I feel like, have something to do. A lot of the social media accounts tied to Barstool are tweeting it or watching it. And, I think they definitely drive some traffic there, some of the guys.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of taking off like a rocket ship, and, I feel like a lot, they're starting to heavily influence like pop culture things and kind of what's cool to like and what's not. And the fact that they're so into it, I think has made a lot of dudes comfortable being like, you know what, like I like this show too, and I'm not afraid to announce it anymore. To be honest with you, that's kind of how I got into it.
Yeah, you and Mikey, you guys would get along. You guys are the Barstool Boys. You like following. I like Trent. Trent's my guy.
Trent's just like that lovable guy in Iowa. He's just so innocent and funny, but he seems like he's the quintessential like guy you'd like to have a beer with.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. What are you looking at over there, Jeets?
I'm just looking through the Twitter feed. There's all this Donald Trump golden shower shit on Twitter now. It's, what a mess.
What'd he say?
I don't know. Fucking. There's some. Did you see this, Taulbee?
I did not. Is Donald Trump peeing on people now?
That's the rumor. That's the report here from the Russian hacks. Stay tuned, folks. It's gonna get interesting.
This is going to be, that'll be so, to be honest with you, that's going to be so funny if Donald Trump is like a serial pisser like Tiger Woods.
Throw him in with Tiger and R. Kelly and let's have a little party.
Oh, man.
The Mount Rushmore of people pissing on people.
If you thought Bill Clinton sticking cigars up girls' vaginas was weird, get ready, boys.
Get your seatbelt on.
Yeah, that's barely touching the iceberg there.
Jeez. Oh, boy. Oh, we're only a week away from letting the games officially begin. We could probably wrap it up here. Todd, you got any last words here before we close things down and bid our fantasy football followers a farewell until August.
Right? Yeah. I mean, hey, if you're really into fantasy, get into Bachelor fantasy. It's almost just as exciting, and you get to watch really ridiculously attractive women on TV for 2 hours. Who doesn't like that?
Yeah, we got March Madness coming up too on the cusp here. College hoops is getting good. We got NHL rocking.
NFL playoff gambling. I mean, there's all kinds of good stuff going on right now.
Yeah, baby, my Steelers are still rocking, still alive. Giants. Sorry,
Yeah, go
Jeets.
fuck yourself. How does that sound?
Sorry, Jeets.
But hey, keep that hot streak alive down there.
I
I'll be
love
thinking
it.
about you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Taulbee, take it easy, guys.